welcome to Brighton Blockchain. Give me a big cheer. Come on, let's get some energy in here. Hopefully we've got a really good event for you tonight. I am just going to briefly introduce, you may notice we are in this lovely venue here. You may be wondering what this is all about. I'm now going to hand it over to Maya from Freedom Works, who's going to tell you a little bit more. Give her a round of applause.
Hi everyone. Thank you all for coming. My name is Maya and I'm the community manager here. So for those of you who don't know, we are a co-working space across the southeast that offer flexible workspace. So we have 10 spaces. Brighton was the newest one, but now we have opened Horsham. Our managing director always says that we want to get to the moon. So that is the goal. We offer everything from meeting rooms, hot desks, dedicated desks, event space, private offices and virtual offices too. That all includes Wi-Fi, free teas and coffees and biscuits, and access to our community events and partnership with Barclays Eagle Labs, if anyone knows who they are, who can give free business support, which is really great. And that's all on a flexible membership. So these flexible packages allow new businesses and freelancers to get access to somewhere to work in the South Coast, as well as to get great community, access to a great community where they can get peer support to help their business grow. And that's part of my job as well as a community manager, is to create that kind of collaborative community. So we do this through hosting regular events such as this one, and we really love working with Silicon Brighton. They're really great. I think that what you do is really fabulous. We also hosted a couple of green SEO meetups as well, which is obviously a big event for the city, which is really cool. We put on shared lunches, cake sales, and do free beer Fridays as well, which everyone really loves. As I mentioned earlier, we're also in partnership with Barclays Eagle Labs, who can offer free business advice. And that's why we say we are more than just a roof over your head. So if anyone wants to hear any more or is interested in looking at the space, just give me a shout. We've got some cards lying around as well. But thank you so much. I'll pass you back to Milo.
Thanks very much. And I'm now going to hand over to Cameron, who's going to tell us a little bit more about Silicon Brighton, who are very kindly providing pizza tonight and also all this lovely streaming.
Cool. Thank you very much, Milo. Hello, everyone. My name is Cameron, and I work for Silicon Brighton. I'm the events and community organizer, helping out with events such as this one and many others, Yannick. But we host a lot of different meetups across Brighton and Hove, hosting the digital tech sector here very proudly, which leads us on to our meetup. Well, it's the meetup of all meetups, really. We're in a meetup right now. We're looking to make our flagship event at the Brighton Dome on 4th of July with Evolve. You can attend, exhibit, or sponsor. We're going to be having some fantastic workshops throughout the day, keynotes, panels, all sorts of things, and lots of exciting booths to come and interact with. It's going to be a fantastic day. And yes, as I said, if you're interested, please scan one of the many QR codes in the room. I think there's one over by Pilar as well by the pizza, so it's not to be missed. Single QR code by Pilar at the back. But yes, so meetup of all meetups. Now on to the actual meetups, which happen almost on a week. Well, no, they're a tri-weekly basis, and I mean 3 per week, essentially. So it's not just Brighton Blockchain that we support. We support loads of other meetups with loads of different topics of conversation, such as PHP Sussex is a fantastic one. Moving on, we have our sponsors and supporters, all of which look after what we do fantastically, either whether that's financially, space, or time of people volunteering up their time. So massive appreciation to them and a huge thank you to our sponsors as well. One final QR code from me. This is our link tree, which gives up access to values that we hold so dear to us, our website where you can find all of our other events. I believe meetup.com will also be on there. If you want to attend any other events or another blockchain event, it will be on meetup.com. Also importantly in this link is our Slack channel where you can join. The conversation does not stop at the meetups or the Q&As. You can jump on and have a fantastic conversation with everyone from the community there. We like to keep everything accessible and free. So that's kind of Silicon Brighton. Back to you. Thank you, Milo.
Amazing. Right, are we all ready? Are we all ready for the world's greatest talk? Right, let's get started.
Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. What's up, 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 what's up? Big connect! Whoa, 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 what's up? No, no, no. Be connect!
You get the
Wow! Be connect!
So this is a man called Carlos Matos, who is a fan of BitConnect. Don't know if you picked that up. He's not the founder, CEO, anything like that. He's a fan who was invited onto the stage at the BitConnect convention to express his enthusiasm, which he did very well. What is BitConnect? It was a scheme where you could put in some money and it would pay 1% per day. Sorry, 1% per day in interest. That's pretty incredible. Where does the yield come from? Don't worry about it. It doesn't matter. It's fine. It's probably totally fine. Around that time, this was 2017, people got very into CryptoKitties, which was a project where on a blockchain, you could make these kitties, you could breed them together if you had more than one, and then you could sell them to someone else who wants to breed them to sell them. These reached a high of $170,000 at peak. It's quite a lot. This was a mania that occurred in crypto in 2017. Someone very kindly, trying to protect people, said, if you don't have two-factor authentication on your exchange accounts, just unfollow me, all right? And someone else replied, is 2FA the next XRP? This is indicative of how manic people got in 2017. Of course, BitConnect eventually collapsed and went to zero. Turned out the yield was just made up, and CryptoKitties also collapsed completely. This is a little graph of what it was like then. This is the total crypto market cap, and you can see massive run up, and then a pretty devastating collapse. A few years later, people had forgotten all about that. This is a picture of a rock that sold for $300,000. Pretty normal stuff. This picture of the first ever tweet sold for, was that $2.9 million? Bored Apes, of course, the most famous NFTs ever. That was $3.4 million. People lost their minds buying real estate in the metaverse. The metaverse didn't really exist. It was more of a speculative concept. People put millions and millions into that. This is an NFT of a house. It's a picture, and it sold for the same price as a real house. It was crazy. And it happens because of reflexivity. So with reflexivity, prices start going up. Investors have more confidence in the market, which makes them buy, which makes prices go up. Startups have an easier time raising capital, building things and creating value, which makes prices go up even more. Prices just go higher and higher until they're in a speculative frenzy. This has happened again and again. It also happens in reverse too. So declining sentiment causes declining prices, which causes declining sentiment, blah, blah, blah. Bankruptcies, it's awful, it's devastating. And this happened in 2021, as you can see, massive run up, and then about after a devastating collapse, 2 years of just nothing. In 2020, well, the beginning of 2022, this is Terra Luna. Some of you may remember it. This was the you still have it. I'm sorry. This was a stable coin where you could earn 20% yield. Where does the yield come from? Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's probably completely fine. Oh, yeah, that wasn't fine. It turns out it does matter where the yield comes from. Okay. This guy, I mean, the less said the better about him, to be honest. I started receiving messages a bit like this. Sorry to hear crypto didn't work out. What are you going to do now? And, oh, you're in crypto still. The point I'm making with all this is that there are these massive cycles that go up and down. And if you look at the log scale chart of the total crypto market cap, you can see pretty clearly it goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down. And that brings us to where we are today. We're in a bit of an up phase now. This is pump.fun. This is a website where you can launch a cryptocurrency yourself, and you can get other people to buy your cryptocurrency and hope that they do buy it so that you can sell it and make money. But they are buying it so that they are hoping that they can also sell it to make money. The cryptocurrencies don't actually do anything, of course. And this person has taped themselves to a wall trying to promote their cryptocurrency and hope that they can sell it before other people sell it. But anyone can launch a token, anyone can buy a token. The whole point is to just sell it before anyone else. And people got a little bit crazy with how they were promoting their tokens. This person, I blurred it out because it's just weird. He's locked himself in a dog cage and he's saying he'll do all these things if the token goes up. This person is threatening to kill a fish. Don't know why. This is
Why is it new?
Nowhere.
It was launched.
Holy fuck! Holy fuck!
You booklet.
Holy fuck! Thanks for the 20 bandos. Oh,
Yeah, he did.
Yo!
And he's very happy that he's made some money out of this, as you can see. But it is pretty much just people trying to sell other people cryptocurrencies. This is my favorite of them all. This is called No Hands, No Rug. It's a guy just standing quite far away from the camera, either pretending not to have hands or by saying, my hands are so far away from the computer, I can't possibly sell this before you. And then one moment he just quite quickly goes to the computer and clicks sell, and then ends the stream, and that's the coin done. That's what it was like. And then it reached celebrities, if you can call them celebrities. So Hawk Tour Girl, if anyone knows who that is, surely someone with the reputation and the good standing of Hawk Tour Girl, surely we can trust them. Oh no, clearly not. Donald Trump launched a meme coin too. There he is, actually. And just a couple of weeks ago, Justin Sun tweeted this. USDD 2.0, that's a stable coin, is about to launch with a 20% yield, fully subsidized by Tron. All interest will be sent in advance with transparent address. There's no other reason. It's simply because we have plenty of money. So stop asking me questions like, where does the yield come from? Brilliant. It begins again. So, as I say, crypto is cyclical. It's a cyclical industry. This is a cyclical market. It goes up and down. There are these big phases of mania and then despair. And that's the first big point that I'm going to make here. Is crypto is cyclical. And every cycle, someone will convince you that it's not cyclical and it's going to last forever. But of course it isn't. Why is it cyclical? Well, one reason might be because of recency bias. So people only really remember or recall of the things that have happened in the very near past and forget about the things that happened maybe 3 years ago. But I think the main reason it happens is the emotions of the market. So emotions dictate prices. There's greed, fear of missing out, and capitulation. Will it always be like this? Well, I think cycles will exist for as long as there is despair or mania, because I think one pretty much causes the other. Craziness will hopefully be regulated, so it won't be quite as crazy forever, but we'll have to see. Of course, I'm not mentioning all the good things. This is not a history of crypto. If you're completely new to crypto, I don't want you to think this is a history of crypto. This is a history of the crazy things that have happened. Why does it often seem like all the good things kind of go a bit unnoticed, and the bad and crazy things kind of take the spotlight? There's actually a meme about this. The Forbes 30 under 30, I don't know if you heard it. It's a list of 30 people who are under 30 years old who have been particularly successful at that age. They do seem to go to prison quite a lot. And that seems to be, I mean, it's pretty clear. You can take dubious shortcuts to get ahead in the short term. But in the long term, that's not going to happen. And in a young industry like this, there are quite a lot of projects, protocols, companies that have taken some, let's say, well, dubious is kind, let's say fraudulent shortcuts. But shortcuts will eventually come back to bite them. This industry is not for the faint-hearted, okay? Crypto is an emotional roller coaster. Even in a bull market, there are still painful 30 or 50% drawdowns. And on any given day, there's something you missed out on. it's painful. There's pain, there's uncertainty, there's discomfort. No matter what you do, you're going to feel that. It's the volatility, really, that is painful. And of course, it's discomfort, uncertainty, and if you want to speculate. And this isn't the case if you're only investing. This is the case if you're building something. It's really hard to build in a market that is this volatile. It's really hard to even just invest your time or energy into this. Volatility is painful. I'm going to illustrate this with a scientific diagram of what it's like to hold crypto. So as you can see on the top here, people think it's a nice straight line, but actually you start and then you get hit by a tornado and then go into a pit of rocks, and then there's a dark forest and then a spider and a T-Rex and then you think, oh, it's going really great, and then you drop into an ocean with a deep sea squid maybe, and then the Titanic, which I think is exploding, and then you think, oh, it's going great again, and then you go into a lightning pit, and then there's a ladder into a crocodile's mouth. And that's what it feels like to hold crypto. It's also what it feels like to build in crypto. It's also what it feels like just to work in crypto because of all this volatility and just the craziness of this industry. So you might feel like happy little Harold here, but actually on the inside, it's quite difficult, right? And the reality is, as much as you would like to feel like, oh, it's only a little bit difficult, you might find yourself something like this at some point. And that is where beliefs come in, okay? So if you're heavily invested, whether it's time, money, energy, whatever, you're dealing with the pain, the uncertainty, and the discomfort constantly. It's so painful to make this your identity, your life, your future. It's too painful to watch your future prospects decline 10% on an average Tuesday. You get emotional whiplash, right? So what if you just develop a steadfast belief that it'll go back up, it'll all be fine? What if you start taking the attitude that the market price is wrong, or I'll be right, you'll see? You have to basically ignore the price, deny reality, and cling to beliefs that help you cope. Beliefs help us cope. So we all naturally will form beliefs being in this industry. Now, the extent of your beliefs probably depend whether you're quite new and maybe you don't have very strong beliefs. If you've been around a while, you might have a lot stronger beliefs because you might have been through quite a lot more. But it depends. Either way, I think the longer you're in this industry, probably the more beliefs you have. So beliefs are a cozy, warm blanket of safety. There we are, nice and cozy in our belief blanket. And beliefs help us say prices don't matter, or everyone's missing this, or it just shows how early we are. Beliefs help us take an experience that should be very stressful and painful and alter our reality into one where we are certain that we will be rich, happy, successful, whatever, or just right. And therefore, any stress is both temporary and worth it. So we might imagine people saying to us, oh my God, you were right, I should have listened. Or, oh wow, you spotted this early on, I should have respected you more. Or, oh, so this is what you've been doing that whole time. You really are an accomplished and admirable person after all. These are all the beliefs that might perhaps unconsciously form as we go through the world of crypto. But it is just beliefs happening in our head. The reality is painful, okay? So this is the third big point that I'm making here. We form beliefs to help us cope with pain, uncertainty, and discomfort. And this, I think, illustrates it quite nicely. All your hopes and dreams and future plans rest on one little belief that your cryptocurrency will go up. Now that's quite fragile, okay? That's very fragile. What if something comes along just to tap that little belief, just to test it, just to see how, just to check the structural integrity of that belief? That's going to be something that you really don't want to happen. That's going to be, I mean, it is essential to question your beliefs if you want them to be right, but you can't even lightly test something that you've built so much on top of, because that's a threat to everything on top. That would make you quite angry. To have that belief tapped, that would be an anger-inducing experience. And so we have tribalism. Crypto is a very tribal industry. I don't know of any industries that are as tribal as this, right? And really it's because of these beliefs that it becomes tribal. Tribalism is almost a feeling of anger at beliefs being questioned. Whereas questioning beliefs is entirely necessary if you want them to be right. You have to question them. You have to constantly question them. We've seen this over and over again throughout history, this same thing, maybe not in this industry, but historical examples of pain causing tribalism. We get to Nazi Germany. Now, you might think that's a bit of an escalation. You might think you did not see that coming. Thank you for that silence. But that is what happened. So Nazi Germany fought, that came out of the hyperinflation of the Weimar Republic, which was a very painful time for German citizens. The European Wars of Religion, I think this is the 30 Years' Wars, so 30 Years' War. Yeah. So this is where Protestants and Catholics just attacked each other, even though they have basically the same beliefs, went at each other's throats and killed a lot of each other. It's not just throughout history. I think you actually do see this in some other industries. If you spend your time and energy, sorry, Yannick, if you spend your time and energy investing it into learning a programming language or a technology stack, that can cause a bit of tribalism. And actually, people do become quite attached and quite spiky about their languages that they've learned. Tribalism and beliefs impair decision making. I'm going to illustrate how this plays out using the example of a fictional cryptocurrency called WompCoin. What is WompCoin? It's a new approach to high-flink cronking with sub-second SWIDs. This novel innovation in cronk flinks has been enabled due to new advances in elliptic isomorphic splinking from the visionary mind of Dr. Wompus. So now that we're all on the same page, this is what it's like to like WompCoin. This is what it's like to follow WompCoin. This is what it's like to be a part of the WompCoin community. This is what it's like to have invested your time, energy, or money into WompCoin. You will see these things maybe on social media. Maybe you will like them. You'll press the like button. Maybe you'll repost them. What's that going to do? That's going to tell the algorithm to show you more of this stuff, to show you more ways why WompCoin is amazing and going to take over the world. Twitter actually keeps a list of the things that it thinks you're interested in. And if you go to that link at the bottom, you can actually find out what Twitter thinks you're interested in. But it will tailor its algorithm to show you more and more and more of the stuff that it thinks you're interested in for as long as it gets engagement. And so that means that you kind of get into a bubble of beliefs very easily. And it's not just Twitter, of course. If you Google WompCoin, Google tailors its search results depending on the person, depending on you, depending on, actually, I think they use 57 different data points to work out what kind of results they want to show you. And that can be everything from location, from the make of your computer, from things you previously searched, but you can get two completely different pages of Google search results for two different people. And it might show you that WompCoin is amazing, it might show you that WompCoin is awful, depending on what it thinks you're interested in. And so this creates a bubble, an internet bubble. And you become subject to confirmation bias, which is where your prior beliefs are basically confirmed over and over again, and false consensus bias. So the reality is there's lots of different viewpoints about WompCoin, but you don't see them because of the bubble that you get in. So we naturally get trapped in bubbles that reinforce beliefs, and nearly every algorithm on the internet, nearly every website on the internet uses algorithms that want to trap you in beliefs, because that's what creates the kind of the engagement. That's what makes you keep coming back. So we follow those who reinforce our beliefs, and that's comforting. It's comforting seeing reasons why WompCoin is amazing. We naturally want to ignore, fight, or block those who question them. And those we follow post things that confirm our beliefs over and over again, strengthening them further, and then we repost them, blah, blah, blah. So what's the solution to this? Is it just to seek out different viewpoints and listen to them? Well, researchers actually wanted to test this, and they got people in America who had left-wing political views and people who had right-wing political views. And the left-wing people usually consume the left-wing media, and the right-wing people usually consume the right-wing media. And so they said, what happens if we get them to swap the media that they're consuming? What's going to happen? Do you think they're just going to meet in the middle and sing Kumbaya and everyone will get along because they have beliefs? That's actually not what happened. What happened was the people on the left went further to the left, and the people on the right wing actually got more right wing by listening to the other people's arguments, that their media. Why has that happened? That defies all logic, all reason as to why that would happen. You would think that consuming differing viewpoints, differing media, would help you have more understanding and empathy. But actually what they said happened is they had a false sense of understanding, first of all. They thought that the media that they consumed was the be-all and end-all. But also, beliefs are not a logical process. They don't follow normal things that you would expect of reason and logic. They are an emotional process. So these people who are reading the opposite media, they actually felt attacked, they felt bad, and they didn't like that. And that's what caused them to go further away from each other. And it's just this, again, basically. It's this, but for their political beliefs. So, if we can't fight these beliefs with logic and reason, how can we fight them? How can we change them? How can we question them? And of course, not all beliefs have to be changed, of course, because some are right. But how do you know that they're right if you can't question them? This is key to navigating the world of crypto, because it's filled with so many different beliefs, so much tribalism, and it's not just about what cryptocurrency you choose to buy. It's about when you choose to buy, when you choose to sell, what you think is going to happen in the cycle, where you think we are in the cycle, how you spend your time and energy, what projects you pay attention to, what projects you ignore, what you think is going to play out. These are all so many different beliefs that we have. To question our beliefs, we must accept pain and uncertainty and discomfort. It is an emotional process, not a logical one. Okay. So what does that look like? Well, it looks like this. It means dialing down the hopes and dreams and future plans so that your beliefs are not propping up too much. You can't be relying on speculative beliefs about the future in any capacity, because it's going to be very hard to change those beliefs. More practically, it looks like this. Mourn your losses, be sad when you're wrong, be sad when you miss out on things. Reach out to a friend and ask for help. Be uncomfortable, get used to being uncomfortable, get used to being uncertain. This is an inherently uncertain industry. You have to be uncertain. Don't escape into a fantasy of denial and dial down your attachment to an imaginary future. I've just said all that. And meetups. I think meetups are a really great solution to this too. I am biased, I know. I've put on, I think, over 80 Brighton Blockchain meetups so far. And this is the one thing that I've got out of this the most. You meet people who aren't in your bubble, first of all. You'll probably realize that your bubble is a bubble more than anything. You'll evade the common in-group versus out-group dynamics, of which there are a lot I didn't really go into. I don't want to bore you. You'll stop seeing other bubbles as bad people. That's the main thing. You'll have a good time. You'll enjoy life as it is now. Brighton Blockchain is the solution. It's a solution. And just to back this up, I've got quotes from some of the greatest investors of all time who are basically saying the same thing. This is not a new concept. This is not something I've made up. I don't need to read them, but yeah, Warren Buffett, the most important quality for an investor is temperament, not intellect. There's another quote from Charlie Munger, who I really admire, who says, the most common cause of bad decisions in investing is a form of denial and a form of beliefs. So, in summary, crypto is cyclical, first of all. The cycles are crazy, alternating between mania and despair. They bring forth the shortcut-taking fraudsters, and they destroy them years later. The volatility is painful, uncomfortable, and uncertain. We deal with that by denying it, forming beliefs around it, and crypto naturally tends towards tribalism as a result of that. If you've wondered where all the tribalism comes from, I think it is just because of the inherent pain and uncertainty in the markets. Beliefs become stronger the more they're needed. We build our lives on beliefs. Questioning beliefs is necessary to make the best decisions. It's hard when they're so strong and they have so much built on top of them. We get trapped in bubbles that support our beliefs. And questioning beliefs does not come from just listening to the other side. That is important, and I don't want to dismiss that. But that can only happen after undergoing that emotional process of dialing down those beliefs. And yes, it is an emotional process, dealing with pain, uncertainty, discomfort first. So yes, deal with pain, discomfort, uncertainty through the acceptance of the present. And this is a little visual diagram of the two different routes available as a visual summary. So we start up here with the uncertainty of the market. We get to hide the pain, Harold. And then you can either choose the path of the nice, warm, cozy blanket of beliefs, which ends in tribalism, or the path of dealing with pain, uncertainty, discomfort, which ends in whatever kind of enlightenment that is. Thank you for listening. Does anyone have questions? Yes. Yes, you did. Do you want, shall I?
Should we invest in 2FA?
You could. I'll get the mic back. Anyone else have any questions? Yes, can you pass that back?
Yeah, sure. I wanted to sort of drill down into that method of sort of deconstructing those beliefs, because it's easy to kind of go, right, I have a belief that I'm going to make X amount of money, and from that I'm going to get, you know, this type of a lifestyle. But inevitably, that's not the type of belief that you want to deconstruct. You want to deconstruct the, you know, biased, valid belief that you have about a cryptocurrency. But through doing that, are you not listening to the other side? So isn't it like a bit of a catch-22? In order to deconstruct that belief system, you have to listen to the other side that says that's not what you should be believing in.
Do you mean for the belief that you'll be successful?
No, no. So
like
for example, say you have a cryptocurrency, right? That you believe it's going to change the way that like DePIN is working, for example, right? And you've read into everything that says it's going to revolutionize this form of DePIN. Now, you need to deconstruct that belief system that is going to revolutionize this DePIN. The only way to almost deconstruct that, to remove that belief, is to listen to the other side that says it's not going to revolutionize. And then all of a sudden you're in that catch-22, you're reading the opposition's article.
I see what you're saying. I don't think that is the way to deconstruct those beliefs. First of all, I think with a belief, if you're saying this project is going to revolutionize DePIN, great, fine. Then it comes to, okay, how much have you invested in that? How much are you invested in that belief being right, first of all? If that's a lot, then it's probably quite a significant belief that's going to be hard to question. If it's not a lot, if you've just read it, you've read a lot, and you think, yeah, I reckon that will happen, maybe that'll be quite easy to question. But if not, then yeah, it's more of an emotional process first. So the emotional process happens first, and that involves, just accepting the inherent uncertainty of something that hasn't happened yet. You don't know that it will revolutionize DePIN, you just think it's got a chance or whatever. Once you've gone through that process, then maybe you can start questioning, maybe then you would listen to articles saying, no, this won't revolutionize DePIN. Maybe that would be one way that you could question that belief. But you can also do that yourself. I think internally, you don't often have to, you don't always have to consume other people telling you why it's wrong. Yeah.
So you're talking about deconstructing your own certainty rather than the facts, the belief of the facts regarding
What are the
crypto.
facts?
So like the deep in whether it's going to revolutionize something. So rather than that, you're talking about the actual belief structure internally.
But are you saying it's a fact that it's going to revolutionize
that's
deep?
the whole point.
Okay.
But that's the whole point. It's the fact that you've internally asserted it.
Okay.
You have to kind of bring it back to say it's not a fact and there is
Yes.
uncertainty. That's the bit that you have to
Yes.
deconstruct.
Yeah.
And from there on, you can actually construct a non-biased belief system.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyone else? Questions?
That was deep.
Yeah.
So a bit more of a basic question. What do you see as the main successful application of crypto or blockchain, or potential successful? Because you've got all these things. You've got RWA, you've got payments, you've got AI agents. All of this stuff just keeps popping in and out. And then you've got memes and you've got everything. So many different categories. How do you see this the space like developing, and how do you see it being successful and being adopted?
Yeah, and I guess that's a question of how do you differentiate between something that has a real product market fit and something that is just being speculated on. How do you see what things are just being speculated on and what things actually have real lasting use case? The answer is I don't know. I think we know at this point that Bitcoin is a store of value that is generally accepted through many cycles. I think stable coins as a payment system have also found a pretty big product market fit too. I think I had a slide way back on all the different, I won't find it now, but all the different potential things and the way that the industry was going. So digital property rights, I think, is important, but I don't think there's quite the product market fit yet. I think there's maybe a learning gap first.
What is that? RWA? Is that the fractionalized shares and stuff?
Could be, yeah, or just the idea of owning something digital. Yeah.
And sorry, this is kind of follow up. There's something I've explored is DAOs. So how to launch a DAO and to do that with a decentralized fund and stuff. And it's extremely complicated with regulation and just the tech side is just like it changes so quickly. And so, as you say, for builders, it's really hard to. It's a volatile space.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So
and yeah, DAOs are very difficult to navigate to. Yeah.
Pass on to someone else.
Anyone else have any questions? Yes, shall I? You didn't have it anyway.
So
It's good for people at home.
yeah, I'm not investing in crypto. I have a friend who's trying to do some coding and trying to make some money out of it. But to me, looking at it, because he was into stock market trading before, how different is crypto from stock market trading and gambling? Like, as an outsider, it all looks a bit crazy and nuts, and I'd rather do something where I have at least some chance of a return on my investment.
As an investment, I would say it's very similar to the stock market. I think the only difference is that there's a lot more of a longer tail with crypto. So with stocks, if you want to make a stock, you have to go through a lot of different regulatory barriers to get your stock listed on an exchange. And of course, you have to have a company. There's like lots of different requirements. But if you want to make a cryptocurrency, you can do it in probably 5 seconds.
I think that's what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
But it's not taken in 5 seconds.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. Yeah.
I think he's made like $5.
Oh wow!
Is that good?
Nice. But yeah, I think it's pretty similar to stocks. I wouldn't say it's as similar to gambling. I mean, I think with gambling, I think there are cryptocurrencies that are just gambling. I mean, I highlighted a lot of the kind of pump.fun stuff where it is literally.
Yeah, that appeals to me actually. I could probably do that. It doesn't require coding.
I would say, yeah, that's gambling.
Right.
But yeah, maybe there's a bit of a grey area.
Okay.
too. Yeah.
Thank you.
Would anyone else? Question? No? Okay, great. I will wrap up. Do you want to take that? Few things before we finish. I'm actually going to come around here so I don't trip over and die. Join the meetup.com group if you are not already on the meetup.com group. We do have regular events. Our next event is on Wednesday. That's this Wednesday. And please do rate this event 5-star if you can. We are looking for speakers. So if you think you could talk, do a talk, stand up, do a talk, anyone, please do come and get in touch with me. And also organizers. So if you want to, if you think you could organize this, basically, please come up to me afterwards. It'll be a great way to get involved in crypto, especially just beyond just investing. You can say, hey, I did this, I organized this lovely event. And that is it. Thank you. Please help yourself to pizza and drinks and mingle for the rest of the time. How much time do we have here?